Hi, I'm Bill. In the last video, I introduced you to a medical system that has been treating erectile dysfunction for over 2,000 years. Traditional Chinese medicine. And I told you that TCM approaches ED differently from Western medicine. Not by targeting a single failing mechanism, but restoring balance to the whole body system. Today, I want to show you exactly what that system looks like inside your body. Because once you understand this, ED is never going to look the same to you again. Let me start with a question. When you think about your organs, what do you picture? Most men picture a collection of separate machines, each doing its own specific job. The heart pumps blood. The kidneys filter waste. The liver processes toxins, each one operating independently like departments in a large company that rarely talk to each other. That is roughly how Western medicine has traditionally thought about the organs too. But traditional Chinese medicine has always understood something different, something that modern research is now beginning to confirm. The organs are not isolated machines. They are deeply an interconnected system. The health of each one directly influences the health of all the others. And 5 of them have a specific, direct, and powerful connection to your sexual energy and vitality. When I first learned this, it genuinely shocked me. I had been thinking about my ED as a single problem with a single cause. Something was not working the way it should, and I needed to find that one thing that would fix it. What I discovered instead was multiple systems were out of balance at the same time, and they were all influencing each other, which is why nothing I tried in isolation ever worked. Understanding the 5 organ systems changed everything about how I approached my own healing. Let me walk you through each one of them. The first is your kidneys. Now, in Western medicine, the kidneys are filtration organs. They clean your blood and produce urine. That is important work. But here is something Western medicine also recognizes that connects directly to TCM. Sitting on top of each of your kidneys are your adrenal glands. And your adrenal glands produce testosterone, the primary hormone governing your sex drive, your energy, and your sexual vitality. In TCM, the kidneys are called the root of life. They are considered the primary storehouse of what TCM calls G, your sexual essence, and the foundation of all your vital energy. Strong kidney energy means strong sexual function. Depleted kidney energy means depleted sexual function across every dimension. So, what depletes your kidney energy? Chronic stress, overwork, fear and anxiety that is held over long periods of time, lack of sleep. Does that sound familiar? The second is the heart. The heart's role in the sexual function is obvious from a Western perspective. It pumps the blood that fills the chambers of your penis during an erection. Cardiovascular health and erectile function are directly linked and extensively documented in medical research. But TCM understands something beyond the pump. In TCM, the heart is considered the seat of Shen, which encompasses your consciousness, your emotion, and your spirit. It is the center of passion, affection, and the capacity for genuine connection with another person. When heart energy is congested or blocked, often through unexpressed emotion or emotional disconnection, it becomes difficult to feel genuine passion or connect deeply with your partner. The physical machinery may work, but the experience feels hollow. The Heart Math Institute has documented that heart coherence, the state of emotional regulation and calm that TCM associates with healthy heart energy, produces measurable improvements in hormonal balance and overall physiological function. The ancient teachings and modern research, they're describing the same thing. Now, the third is the liver. In Western medicine, the liver processes toxins and metabolizes hormones, including testosterone. And here's something that most men never hear from their doctor. When liver function is compromised, the liver cannot efficiently clear excess estrogen from the body. The estrogen accumulates. The testosterone to estrogen ratio shifts, and that shift directly affects your sex drive, your energy, and your sexual function. In TCM, the liver governs the smooth flow of qi and blood throughout the body. The liver energy stagnation, one of the most commonly diagnosed patterns in TCM, is primarily caused by chronic emotional stress, particularly stressed anger and frustration. And when the liver energy stagnates, it disrupts the flow of vital energy to your sexual center, contributing directly to erectile difficulties. The TCM and Western understanding of the liver are pointing at the same truth, but from different angles. A stressed, congested liver is bad for your hormones and bad for your sexual energy. Now, the fourth is the spleen, and this one surprises most men because the spleen does not obviously seem like it's connected to your sexual function. In Western medicine, the spleen is primarily an immune organ. It filters blood and supports immune response. In TCM, the spleen has a broader and more fundamental role. It is responsible for transforming the food you eat into vital energy and blood that fuels every function in your body, including your sexual vitality. When the spleen energy is weak or congested, the production of vital energy is reduced. The result is fatigue, mental fog, difficulty concentrating, and reduced sexual energy and drive. TCM also associates the spleen with worry and overthinking. Chronic mental anxiety and overactive thinking deplete spleen energy. And as any man who has experienced performance anxiety knows, an overactive, worried mind is one of the most direct routes to sexual dysfunction. The fifth is your lungs. Now, we've actually talked about this one already in my earlier videos on breathing. Your lungs govern the intake of oxygen and the distribution of vital energy through your body. When you breathe correctly, deeply and abdominally through your nose, your lungs support every other system in your body, including the production of nitric oxide, the molecule that makes erections physically possible. When you breathe incorrectly, shallow and chest breathing, and you do it through your mouth, you deprive every organ in this list the vital oxygen and energy that they need to function. In TCM, the lungs also govern your connection to the world around you. They are the organ through which you take in life itself with every breath. When lung energy is weak, which TCM associates with grief and sadness held over time, it becomes difficult to feel alive, energized, or aroused. Now, here's the thing that I want you to really hear. These 5 systems are not working in isolation. They are working together as one interconnected whole. And when one of them is out of balance, it affects all of the others. Chronic stress depletes kidney energy and stagnates liver energy simultaneously. Poor breathing weakens the lung energy and reduces the oxygen supply to your heart. Emotional disconnection congests the heart energy and makes it harder for the liver energy to flow freely. ED is rarely the result of one system failing. It is usually the result of multiple systems being out of balance at the same time, each one making the others worse. And this is why the practices that I teach in my full program work with all 5 systems together, not targeting one mechanism in isolation, but restoring balance to the whole. The breathing practices support the lungs and the heart. The organ work directly stimulates and balances all 5 systems. The mindset and visualization practices address the emotional dimensions that TCM has always recognized as central to your organ health. And the energy practices, they keep everything connected and flowing freely. This is the system that traditional Chinese medicine has been refining for over 2,000 years. And it is the same system that finally gave me my life back when nothing else worked. The link to the full program, it's in the description below. Now, if this opened something up for you, subscribe so that you don't miss what's coming next, because there is a lot more to explore. You are not broken.